If you've been laid off of a government contractor or employee or are scared of being laid off, then this episode is for you. And if you are too anxious and do not want to listen to the whole episode, go to the captions now. There's a link. You can book a free strategy call with me to figure out what to do next and how to get there. And now let's start into this episode. The shock, the anger, the feeling of just losing control out of a job that used to be super secure is totally understandable. Now, before you move on, there are some things that you need to do in order to make this not a setback, but a long-term success for yourself and for your career. Hi, my name is Fela Rosa and welcome to the Corporate Warriors podcast. Today is all about the consequences of the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiencies, and the layoffs and cutbacks in government staff that they are continuously doing. We do not know what will come next. We do not know when it will all end or how it will all turn out. But what we know is right now, hundreds or thousands of people have been laid off and are in fear, in anger, at home, not knowing what to do next and how to approach this next chapter in their careers. And this is what we're here for today in this episode. I'm a conscious career success coach, which means I help my coachees build the confidence they need to show up as a secure leader, as a secure employee, which is super important. In job interviews, you are in a situation where the whole nation, the whole world knows that you are victimized and have been let go without any possibility for yourself to position yourself or do anything about it. So this is not personal, and yet it is super, super crucial that you build up your confidence and you really figure out for yourself what you want, so that once you land those job interviews, you can show up as the person that will actually get hired successfully. So I want you to learn all about what it is that you need to overcome, all the fears, all the anger, all the emotions, how to let them go. And this is exactly what I help my clients with. Now, I know you are in emotional shock and it's totally normal. So how can you actually process this? Most of you thought that having a government job gives you a lifetime of job security. And it's totally understandable that you're now falling even deeper into a hole, into a rut than other people that are used to the corporate environment actually do. Because the truth is this, working in the open market always brings with it the fear of potential layoffs. None of the employees knows what's next if they're part of the next layoff round. However, it is different in the terms that they are not used to this level of security that you just had. So the first step is to really process your emotions. Yes, you might have tons of anger and frustration and really create this sort of hatred for this new government. And let me tell you this, emotions are there to be felt. Emotions, short for energy in motion. If you do not feel these emotions, if you do not go into the grief at all and you just push them away, this is not healthy. Give yourself a few days, but set a maximum time limit to it. Let's say you give yourself one whole week. And in this week, you're allowed to vent. You call all of your former colleagues that also got laid off. You vent about the government. Do it. Go for it. If you want to Google all that they have been doing, if you want to just scream at the wall, no matter what it is that you want to do, do it. Cry, be angry, go to some kickboxing class, let it all out. But set yourself a time limit to really go deep into those feelings and feel them. Now, the next step is really think about it. You are not a victim because this has nothing to do with you. This is not personal. This is about the system, right? So this has nothing to do with your worth as a person or as an employee for that matter. You are just part of a system that got cut into half or whatever it is, and it has nothing to do with you and your worth. Be aware that your career isn't over. It's just shifting. And this is where you're in right now. Once you've let out all the frustration, all the anger, you screamed at people, you yelled at people that know that you're doing it for a purpose, of course, then write it all down. Write it on a piece of paper. Write down all your feelings, write down everything there is, and let the emotions flow through you. And then you're ready for the next step. After the anger and frustration is to actually feel the grief and go through those stages of grief. You can basically take a look at it and see it as if you were grieving a lost person, a partnership that broke up, and you go through those stages the same way. It's normal to go through denial, like this can't be happening, this can't be legal, this can just not be true, right? We've all been there. Go through it consciously. Then the next one is anger. This is what we already talked about. You're probably in the middle of it. You don't like these people that did that, and just let it all out as we've discussed. Next, it's about bargaining. Should I have made a different decision in my career? Should I not have striven for that much security, which in the end wasn't really security at all? So this bargaining, this internal dialogue, it's good. Write it down, put it on a piece of paper as well. And then the fourth step is depression, where you feel lost and invisible because you are one of 1,000 people. The first time you go onto LinkedIn, it's intimidating. It is true. It's also intimidating sometimes for people that are used to working in the open market. So it's okay to feel depressed a little bit, but let it out now so it doesn't become a long-term real depression, okay? This is just a depressed moment in your career. We have all been there, I promise. And then we go into acceptance. And this is the crucial stage, why you get to choose what's next. This is the moment when you can finally stop out of being a victim and start shifting your mindset. But it's important to go through the stages of grief first, right? So give yourself this week where you just grieve what has happened, and then go into acceptance. You are in the driver's seat, just like everybody else is for their careers. I am sure there have been things that you didn't like about your government job. Write also that down so you become aware that this might be an opportunity for you to actually actively choose what it is that you want, to reset yourself into this position where we are all at after getting our college degrees. Like, what do you want to do with your life? Well, the good news is now you have all of these years of actual pragmatic work experience. So now it is so much easier to write down what it is that you want and what it is that you do not longer accept, that you do not longer tolerate for yourself in your career. So become crystal clear on what it is that you want or do not want in this acceptance stage. This is so important that you move out of victimhood. Don't victimize yourself. It's not you, it's the system that got punished. As a mindset shift, think about it like this. The government layoffs, they do not define you. They do not define your worth, but they free you to redefine yourself. Who is it that you want to become? What do you want to do with your life? So with this list, you have now the stages of grief. You're aware of them, go through them in a limited time frame. And now in the next round, we're gonna start rebuilding your confidence and position yourself for a strong comeback. Now that you have this list of what you liked and didn't like, it's time to take a look at your own strengths and weaknesses, okay? So also do the same for yourself. What were you really good at your job? Where did you excel? What was really easy for you? What came naturally for you? And what are the things that you yourself did not like to do where you think you're just not as strong? Write all that down. Use AI like ChatGPT for that, not to figure out what it is. This is what you have to bring into the system, of course, but then you can use ChatGPT to figure out what could be potential next steps for you in your careers. You do not apply for everything and anything, but you really come up with a concise plan for yourself. This way, you can use ChatGPT to update your LinkedIn profile. Please also make sure to have a new and up-to-date picture of yourself. Put a cover image to it. Really update your whole LinkedIn resume. Get together with coworkers and write each other some recommendations where you point out what was great about working with this coworker, right? This should not be fake. Don't lie, but have somebody that worked with you that knows your strengths. Write about those strengths in your LinkedIn recommendations as well. Make sure that your LinkedIn is professional. Everything that you put out into this world now is professional. Don't vent on social media with your open name and profile. Do not do that. You do not want to position yourself as a victim, as somebody that easily gets triggered into victim mode, because in the open market, it's important that you are strong and standing up for yourself and your needs and get what you're worth. Because when you believe in your own value, also other people like hiring managers will. And if you need a little bit more time and you're a little bit overwhelmed with this, obviously reach out to people like me, but also make yourself some more time, right? What you can also do if you say, Fela, 1 week is not enough, I need more time to figure all of this out, that's fine. If you need money, then do some small things and do not write them on your LinkedIn resume. But, get the job at the supermarket, get the job as a DoorDash deliverer. There's so many ways in the US how you can make money easily without a huge application. You just throw yourself out there as an Uber driver and you start collecting cash. And this way you can earn yourself some money that will give you a few more weeks to really process and set yourself up for success in the open market. Now that you're in the right mindset, now that you've set up your LinkedIn, you know what you want, your application process can start. The best tip, of course, always use AI in your favor. Use the ChatGPT tool or any other kind of AI you love as a means of, let's say, your career coach. Put in, hi, ChatGPT, please be my career coach and help me write the best CV that points out all of these different stages of my career, these strengths, these projects that I've done, and what has come out of these projects. For instance, perhaps you were also in some way increasing the efficiency or making something easier, right, in terms of usability. Make sure that you become very precise on the projects that you've done that have created some real meaningful output that can potentially be transferred into the open market. You give it to ChatGPT and ChatGPT will help you write that amazing resume. Now, you start putting yourself out there, you apply for jobs. Don't be afraid to work with recruiters. Recruiters' job is to put really the matchmaking into place, right? They see you, your profile, and they see what is on the open market and they help you get those introductions. If you have people working in companies that you think are very interesting, that might have even a job out there or not, reach out to them privately first and ask them for referrals, ask for introductions. Don't be afraid to use your network. This is a true hidden gem of the job market. Use it strategically, but make sure that once you reach out to your network, you're not in a victim mindset anymore, that you know who you are, what you stand for, what your strengths are, and how you can contribute in the open market to a company that is literally run by capitalism, okay? Once you are in that mindset, then you reach out to your network, then you leverage those people that you know and that like you for referrals and for introductions, so you can get access to jobs before they even hit the open market. You are your own boss now. You manage your own career like a CEO. Make sure you get introductions from your network. Use your network. Make sure that you put yourself out there as well in direct applications to open positions. And in addition, use recruiters. Their whole job is to be a matchmaker in the job market. So use all of those different strategies for yourself when you're over the grief and anger and frustration, when you're ready to rock it. That was it. This is all I think you need to know in the first step. If you got laid off as a government worker, if you became victim of the DOGE initiative, this is what you need to do now. If you want one-on-one support, as said in the beginning, there's a link below in the caption. You can schedule a one-on-one meeting with me for free, and we'll dive into that together and make sure that you get out of fear, frustration, and victimhood and step into this next chapter of your career successfully. I'm happy to talk with you. Reach out, connect on LinkedIn, and happy to see you in the next episode.